Hello, this is Katie with Homeschool Chat, and today I'd like to talk about science curriculum. So, one of the new things that I'm going to do for this channel is I'm going to hold up a sign that says K through 6 when I start talking exclusively about kindergarten through 6th grade, and then I'll hold up another sign that says 7 through 12, and then I will speak exclusively for the 7th graders to the 12th graders. That way, I know homeschoolers are very busy. You can fast forward to the sign and get the information that you are looking for. So first, I'd like to speak about science curriculum in general. And there's so many ways to do it. There's so much out there. When I was homeschooling myself, there was hardly anything. You had the leftovers, the dregs from all of the schools. And now you can just get online, and there's companies that will sell you an entire curriculum for the entire year for the grade of your child. So one of the things that I want you to be aware of is if you don't know what you're doing for homeschooling, you know you're going to homeschool your kid, I would be wary of that because you can't see the curriculum. If you can like do a little research online and see what the pages look like, how the wording is, that's great. But if they're just going to sell you a $400 package of curriculum for 1st grade for your child, I would be a little wary of that. When you're homeschooling, it's more of a tutorial kind of an experience. So you're going to have your child's opinions. Even if you've got the best child in the world, you're still going to have you'll be able to tell that your child isn't happy with something, or that it would be so much better if you had something that was more hands-on or had brighter pictures or something like that. So when you're searching for curriculum that you're going to purchase, make sure that you can do a little research and at least be able to flip through some of the pages and see how it's written, what it sounds like. And if you're bored with say, an Abeka science book, not that you would be bored, but let's say that you were looking at an Abeka science book and you're bored with that, your child's going to be bored also. So really look at things and make opinions based upon yourself and the students that you are going to be homeschooling. So that is all I have for group discussion. So now I'm going to hold up a sign and it's going to say K through 6. So now I'm going to talk exclusively about curriculum in science for K through 6th grade. So there's so many things that you can do. I find it so much fun because it's like searching for treasure. I found this book here at a secondhand store, and it was so much fun. Becca was really little, so kindergarten, 1st grade, and let's see if I can. It talks about shadows. And so it was almost like just reading her a regular story. And then we'd try the experiments, which aren't that big of a deal, together. And it was just a lot of fun. So don't be afraid to just go shopping. Some of the companies that make curriculum, I know there's a lot. I was going to get an app to show you. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to explore apps. Don't be afraid to explore old textbooks. Don't be afraid to go the workbook way. Just don't be afraid. Just really look at it as you're looking for treasure. So this is by a company called HBJ. It's Harcourt, Brace, and Jovanich. This is a really good science book. I don't think it's available right now, but I want to show you some things. So this is for about 4th grade, and I want you to look at this. This is what this textbook looks like. It's full of vibrant pictures, and it's, you know, a textbook. So of course it's telling you the lesson. It's not boring at all. And when I was reading it, I was so into it. I just want to read the whole thing. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for something that interests you, something that you know interests your student or your students. This is Holt is a company that sells textbooks to this day. I know that for sure. This is for 6th grade. This is Holt Life Science. And what I did with this in 6th grade, like I said, I'm a little bit of an overachiever. So I changed things and I supplemented things. I really had a whole lot of fun. So we would talk in life science, let me get an example here, about let's see, hang on. Well, plants and plant processes. And I would want this textbook for plant and plant processes. And I would want my child to read through this, answer the questions. And sometimes I would, if I had the teacher's edition, so this one is the teacher's edition, I would cover up the answers with sticky notes. And then I would do a lot of things orally because I could. To like oral questions, you give the question to the child and then have the child answer. And then in this particular thing, I think I did this with Sarah and Matt. With this particular thing, if they got the right answer, they got a quarter. And I'm sure now it would be like $1. But anyway, so that was kind of how I worked that. Now, plants and plant processes. So I wanted to delve deeper into plants and plant processes. And I had a little workbook that I found that talked all about plants. And so I had all of these worksheets that I had the kids do. And let me see if I can put, just worksheets just to supplement and add more information. And the more you go over a subject, the more it gets into long-term memory. So I was really big into that. And I'll show you more of that in a bit. So the next thing is, this came from Barnes & Noble's. This is DK is the name of the company. And it's a sticker book on animals. And it talks all about animals. I love it so much. So what I did was, I use this for so much. So here it tells a little bit about each animal. And it has stickers that fit in these little shadowy places. Or silhouettes. These are silhouettes. So you can go that route and you can just follow this workbook and your child will learn a lot about animals. And that's great. But then I got inventive and I made a game. And I used some of the stickers. There was, I think at the end of this book, there was backgrounds of where these animals lived. So like these set of animals live in the ocean, these set of animals live in the tundra, these set of animals live in the forest. And then I had my student put the stickers. So see, you can use this for so many different grades. You had them put the stickers where the animals lived. So they had this pretty little picture of a forest, and then they had stuck a deer and a wolf and all these animals that live in the forest. Another thing that I did was there was a toy store. A toy store, I found this is the Young Scientist series, and I think they still have this. Love these kits. These kits are great for ages, maybe 3rd grade, all the way, I would say, into, if you're trying to make a point, even a freshman. You'd have to look at it and you'd have to think about how you would want to use it to supplement a textbook or something like that. But so it talks about, this one talks about magnetism, static electricity, tornadoes, clouds, and the water cycle. And it has everything that you need for the experiments in the kit. So you don't have to go buy anything extra. It's just right there. It's so much fun. So that is what I have, kind of a share and tell for kindergarten through 6th grade. And like I said, just don't be afraid to check out what is out there. The other thing I want to mention is that there are requirements each year in your state for what your grade has to or should know. I would start with that. I would get online. For us, it's Washington State, so I think it's like www.wa.gov, and then you say requirements, school requirements for kindergarten, and then a list pops up of everything your child needs to learn in kindergarten, and you use that as your base, and then you decide as the parent where to go from there. But at least you know everything that your child should learn in kindergarten and should learn in first grade, and so on. It kind of keeps you on task, I guess you'd say. So I'm going to talk now about 7th grade through 12th grade. So let me move these off. And move these on. Probably should have started with this on the table. All right. So 7th through 12th grade. For curriculum for science for 7th through 12th grade, it's so much fun to look online to see what is available. They have apps, there's books, there's still workbooks that you can use for 7th grade through 12th grade. You can find things different places. So this right here, let's start with this. So this is a science kit for physics and physical science. So I've used this for physical science, and I've also used this as well for physical science. What they are, they're experiment kits. So it has everything in it that you need, and your child learns what they need to learn in physical science, and then when they're done, they're done. I really like doing that. The way that I do it is I was going to bring that. I'll bring it again on a different day. I will talk about science again in the future. I have my child do a spiral bound notebook that is I guess you'd say it's a log, and it's a science log. So they have to answer all of the science questions, and then I have them take a picture of their experiment in process and their experiment working. Then they print it out from the printer and they put it in their log. So everything that they have done in here, they explain what they did, they explain how it worked, and they show me pictures of it. So I know that they've done it. And again, the more a student has to work with a concept, the better chance you have of it getting into long-term memory. So it works out really, really well. I think that's the only thing. Becca, can you think of anything else? I think that's the only thing that I have them do for something like a science kit. So that would be 1 year's curriculum for physical science. Now, I called it a little series. I would put these things in, wedge them into what our normal curriculum would be. Things that I knew that you should learn in 7th grade or 8th grade or 9th grade or whatever, but I didn't think that the textbook was exciting enough. So we did a study on plants. I wanted to show you 2 different ways I did it. So for the first student, what I did was I had a bunch of workbooks that I bought, and I took out of those workbooks what I was interested in, and then I made up a little lesson plan. And the lesson plan just tells you where to go, right? So I did that for that series, and then these are the workbook pages. And my student went through it that way. And then when they're done going through the work, then they're done with that series. So here is the same series, only for another student. I made this into, I think these are report covers. So they get to decorate the outside. And then I put the lesson plan right here. And of course it's several pages long. And then again, you have the same worksheets. They would take the worksheets out, do the work, put them back into the sheet protectors. So that's how this student did the very same thing. So it gives you an idea of how you might do your own curriculum. Now, the other thing for 7th grade through 12th grade that I did, oh, I love this so much. I went to Barnes & Noble and I saw this book, and it's a National Geographic book. So I was looking through it, and I noticed how beautiful the pictures were and how complete everything was. It just didn't seem to leave anything out. So here it talks about the solar system, and then over here it talks about rocks, and then back over here it talks about earthquakes, currents. I think they went into the water cycle, tropical forests. It was just wonderful. So I used it for earth science, and I made up my own curriculum for it. I just went through and I had a big project for the kids to do. I had them draw certain things that they were reading because I wanted to make sure, at that time I had 3 students. I wanted to make sure each student was doing the work. And I asked some questions. Of course, I knew the answers to them. And I made it into a curriculum. It's actually a coffee table book. So anyway, you can do that. Very good information. So the last thing I'm going to share is this is chemistry for probably high school. So for chemistry, what I did was I bought 2 kits, 2 chemistry kits. I had my student go through both kits, and I supplemented the kits with reading from these texts. And you can see all my little sticky notes. And again, I would make a lesson plan, no surprise to the student, and the student was supposed to follow the lesson plan and do what they were supposed to do, and kind of make like a little notebook or a log of what they did, and answer the questions so I could see the questions and the answers. It worked out really well. Anyway, so that is what I have for ideas for curriculum for science for 7th grade through 12th grade. So that is everything that I have. Have a blessed day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.